There, Abby. We're up to session 10 of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. We're a little bit late. I was checking out the submission. I was checking out the live footage from the Gatecrasher Palooza that I submitted. I mean, the results of that was earlier today, and I was about to say, pretty surprised with how close the entries were. I'm actually surprised I even placed in the top 3. Pretty cool. Anyway, last time in Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, we are up to day 3 of episode 5, Rise from the Ashes, and yeah, a lot of stuff is going down. Rocket country, that's rocket. Okay. Thanks so much for the sub, Rebel. With the 2-month streak, nice. Yeah, but I have a plan for Rebel. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get the Muspa, quote-unquote, Muspa guide on Sunday probably, or Saturday probably. Either one, I'm not sure. Hey Eddie, welcome on in. Rebel, you're indeed first. Anyway, got a little bit distracted because Gatecrasher Palooza. I was stuck having to watch on mobile, and I wanted to see prototype entry because me and him were exactly one turn off. I mean, one action off from tying, which is pretty incredible. Anyway, enough Gatecrasher Palooza talk. Last session, we solved the mystery of why. Okay, I'm gonna recap anyway, but long story short, we solved the mystery of the simultaneous murder. As it turns out, there's a lot more to meet the eye, and we're currently we're probably close to the end of today's investigation portion. But long story short, SL9 incident is involved in this. A lot of people from that case, a lot of scary stuff happened. There was a mass murderer there's a serial killer that killed this person, who is Marshall's. Well, I guess I should also say spoiler alert. People are just tuning in, but this guy got murdered. He was a lead prosecutor. We had Gant, Lena Sky, go to profiles real quick. Lena Sky, Angel Star, and Jake Marshall, who were part of the SM9 case. Something went down in that case. There was some sort of forged evidence. Edgeworth, who was the prosecutor for that case, presented the evidence, and a lot of stuff went south for a lot of people. Edgeworth was accused of using forged evidence to get that guilty verdict. He's considering just resigning because all the pressure from that. Lena Sky, well, we're defending her. Angel Star pretty much got canned. Jake Marshall, Patrolman, probably going to get canned. And obviously, yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of heavy stuff. We investigated this. We were going to commit to, we committed to opening the safe. We found a lot of, mistrial. Day 1 was mistrial because our Edgeworth's professional witness, Miss Star, perjured herself. Day 2, the murder at the police station wasn't a murder, it was just a string of events that's still suspicious. Day 3 are working on, but we opened the safe. And unfortunately, we had to prove to Santa Gumshoe, who let us in, sort of, kinda, not officially. prove that the evidence in Gant's safe is irrelevant to the case. And that's where we're at. That's more or less a recap of the previous two sessions, so for now, let's voice act. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Hold on. I forgot to put the tags in for today, because they always disappear for some reason. Yeah, they never showed up. Hold on. I mean, hold it. I think I have them on a notepad for... just because of how often it's happened. Rollers, no backseating. First playthrough. Objection. And voice acting, because that's what I do. That's what I try to do. If it's good or not, it's a whole different story. Right, a desk on the other side of the room. Is that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was waiting for Dana. On that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. Practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. Strange Street's gonna leave it there. Leaves it as a warning to everyone else. Wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. Let's see. So ever since Lena left, no one ever touches that desk. No one except Chief Gant. And the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Well, years past this incident. Oh yeah, one other detail. The SL9 incident, like, where Darke got captured, this very office. Lots of coincidences, but I'm not sure how it plays out yet. Can't possibly be any. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be. No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay. Look around some more. I feel like I skipped steps because I went to the safe first and then now we're talking to him. Not so fast, buddy. Yeah? What is it? Don't tell you don't worry about it. It's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't let it go at that. Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect to you? Nani? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? Chief Gant. Finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. Here you go, ignore me again. Do we have the evidence? I feel like I broke something now. Because I opened the safe, I know that. Right, I found that inside the drawer. That was the evidence from the SN9 case. Like, I examined everything before we left. I mean, before we ended yesterday. That's a gumshoe. Did you ever look at this jar? Alright, I'm supposed to prove like why the two things in the safe was relevant to the case. Right. I mean, just being a derp. Remember when the three of us put that back together? Yeah, those were the days. Kinda early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of those shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one that was in the safe? Yes, that one. That was in the safe. Eh? Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Trying to see if it fits. Alright, let me see that shard. Take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do. It's alright, here's some glue. Now if I could piece this together again. It'll prove she got was the only hiding evidence. Here goes. Well, that is that. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Cat willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar here in the safe. Eh? In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But hey guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece he just attached. It's different from the others. There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line? That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Cat hide this in his safe? Unstable jar. Evidence from the SL9 incident. Final fragment found in Chief Cat's safe. Blood traces. I could think of one thing. And this? No. I was gonna say, I think the other thing I'm trying to prove is the cloth that was in the safe. Letter, whatever you want to call it. Maybe Alfred would do something like that. You know Officer Marshall? Of course I do. Like a mentor to me. First started out, he even gave me a small cactus. Really? He said, Dick, she'll Dick, she'll listen to all your troubles. So just now, Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus. I don't believe he's just a patrolman now. I want to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Photo, maybe? No. Right, so I think I need to show him to show that the handprint cloth is relevant. And every time I look at the autopsy report, deceased Neil Marshall, date and time of death February 19th between 7 and 7:30 p.m. Aside from blood loss in under 10 minutes, weapon found in wound was missing tip. What this? Oh. I don't know what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. What is it? Did you find something? Can't make it out. Better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh. No, it's nothing. Why are you guys moving about like that, Mr. Wright? I never forget about this picture. Oh, I think I know what this picture is. I'm not gonna say anything now. My lips are sealed on the matter. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, Detective. Alright, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take our fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Nani? Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. Talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh. I knew that. I want the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor? Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. Here, my mom. I don't have to be told a million times.
And his name is John C.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're checking for John Cena's prints. Go for the thumb. Right. Sprinkle some aluminum powder. And give it my best shot. That result won't be any good for matching prints, will it? But it doesn't look like we'll get a clear result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then. Okay, next finger. Sprinkle some powder. I do like this mechanic though. Very cool. Like, it's different, but it's still interesting. And blow. Nope, that's a dead end. Okay. Middle finger. I mean, to be honest, we're checking something that's years old that's been in a safe, somewhat preserved. I'm not really expecting miracles. Oh. Or maybe there's an actual print. Okay. Guess I'm missing like a little bit on the edge, possibly. There we go. It's not that print. Nope. I doubt it's that, but maybe. No. Oh, they'll say maybe it's good, but surprisingly, no, it's not. I think we're out of clues this time. Yeah. But it was inside the cheap safe. Right, along with that shard. So that means it's gotta do something with the incident. The one that happened right here in this room. She's right. We should check the fingerprints of everyone who was in here that day. By the way I see it, there's a higher power at work here. Just gotta have faith. Okay, I shouldn't be surprised, but Nani. No, this doesn't feel right. How can this be? What are Eva's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? These prints are too old. Aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, too bad. That to be Darke's prints. Hey you, over here. What's going on here? What are that kid's parents doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here. Maybe you should hold on to this. Piece of cloth that was found on Chief Gant's safe. Evidence for something, but what? It bears Emma Sky's prints, somehow. Well, is that any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Yeah, Chief Gant. Didn't think he'd be coming back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out the window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Then I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean, me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, and you in the coat. Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir. Now get out. That's a sheesh. That's definitely a change from his usual demeanor. Yes, sir. We'll be on our way too then. Wait, you the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spiky hair, you're free to go. Mr. Wright. This troll isn't suspicious at all. Whatever will give you that idea. Look, pal. If I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. Chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? Baka. I mean, yeah, Baka. Sorry. I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Well, now I seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office. You can finally starting to get the picture. But why she kept eerily silent about all this time? Hey, will you listen to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. He said the police wanted to ask her some questions. So she'll be busy for the rest of the day. February 24th, Detention Center, Visitor's Room. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning? He's thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I've committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you told me over these past couple days, it's absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. We did a good talk mentoring you. Rather jealous. Yeah. Seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. And thick-headed is a term he used, I believe. Alright, now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. Now, I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted he did it, Yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say. So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think I'm afraid of is more like it. Yeah? If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to be silent. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of? What is this person's name? Take that. Well, this guy. Mr. Wright, you're addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I think she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he's respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Andrew will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, those are serious offenses. Why is it though that Chief Gat's name was never mentioned? Chief Gat? Andrew didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gantz. You tend to accuse Chief Gat. You'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gat falsified evidence in that case. Take that. I just happened to find this in a safe in the chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing the evidence was none other than Chief Gat himself. But tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touche, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmise, and anticipate a chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder. Oh, why not? Oh no, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate. In a murder of Detective Goodman? Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. But I can't tell you the details. I can say that I was given an order that day. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edward's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edward's knife? No. When I found the body, this was a knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident? Serial killer Joe Darke's knife? I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with the other knife. So that would be Edward's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thoughts of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that's the reason for the bandage in your right hand? Yes. It seems that I got the blood on the victim's shoe as well. And then... she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Bizarre, huh? Why'd you need to hide Darke's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close a Darke case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be open again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So you hid Darke's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Darke case. Before it got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day of that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it? In Edward's exhaust pipe? Right. Then I called my sister. To tell her what happened, that asked her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone to force a fight to know about this. That would explain why Emma's so confident about Lena's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. Bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. Phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SNI incident has been murdered. I wanted the fact to be hidden and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean... not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. So he disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence? Yes... pretty much. There's still a motive of why he did it in the first place, but that's more or less my line of reasoning that she's being framed by a certain someone. That if you think you know, you know. If you don't, then well, you'll figure out eventually. But yeah, Marshall. This is the part we investigated yesterday, where Goodman disguised himself as. Jake Marshall disguised himself as Goodman to try to take the evidence, which was already gone, surprisingly. He had already stolen the ID card. But it seems he still haven't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone card, well, any remaining doubts he must have had disappeared. So your phone call caused the incidents in the evidence room? I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But, Lena, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial? There's only one way to drive off Lena's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. That's Goodman's real murderer. And when went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. To be continued in a few seconds. Well, at least it wasn't like that's like yesterday where I was like really, really close to the end. At least this one took some effort. February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 2. Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot you missed yesterday, Rebel. You will definitely see what the meaning of all this evidence means soon. TM. It's like I'll probably figure it out eventually. There's still a lot of unknowns about the Darke incident. I mean the SL9 incident. The defendant's lobby are right, but there's no defendant. I tried to reach Lena all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma for that matter? It's almost as if... something's been happening behind the scenes. Antwerp. No one knew. Already figured it out. Who the owner of the 777777 ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there's still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If a number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right, and Chief Prosecutor's guy will be found guilty. But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much. That's why I come here. To hear what you had to say.
And his name is John C.
I will say well played, Herbal, but I doubt this is the first time he's heard that John Cena before. I mean, this is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lena's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. Don't have time to reminisce about the past. Depends on you. Eh? If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, Wright. I feel like my Edward voice has changed from like posh English guy to like solemn, like sort of meek-ish because of everything that all the cases we've been through. Just throwing it out there. This is it. If I'm ever gonna find out what Chief Gan has on her, it's now. February 25th, 10 a.m. District Court, or room number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lena Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecutor puts forth his opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gantz. Morning, folks. How everyone's doing? Hey, Uji. Been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Huh, that's a good one. Don't think I'll top that. Don't think I can top that. Don't mind me asking, Chief. What exactly is this proposal of yours? Lena, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she can speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Totally not sus at all. Whatever gives you that idea. What's this all about, defendant? I'd like to just make one simple request. I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. And Nani? I confess all charges against me. On February 21 of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lena. Objection. You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lena, Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may like direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Also, hold it, please. Well, the defendant certainly has a right to self-representation. Your request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, there is no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Wordy. I understand it's a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Bringing another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With the sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, That never operates as you do, Wordy. I thought so. I'll be honest, I was anticipating him. He's on the side of the truth. Remember, Edgeworth was on the Estonite case, so he knows. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change his first witness. Oh? To whom? As his first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hear her testimony. Hold it. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. Eh? The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. And that's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Wordy. You'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. The Edgeworths decided to take the horse by the reins. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lena's little sister. I want to be a scientific investigator. Right, 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Darke of the Joe Darke killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that now. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, Please remember, this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved years ago really all that relevant? Yes. It most certainly is. Well, okay then. I think sure came in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. Trip to Year has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. 2 years ago, I was waiting at my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Leo Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. You passed out. Don't remember much. Understandable, however, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth. What does the testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. I've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Right. I also don't feel right having to press Emma's testimony. What do I have again? But I sort of have to, so apologies, Emma. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. My sister. She was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Guy used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk. And dream about playing an organ. I wanted to play it that day too. Police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Dana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. I know we saw the murder on the first part of the first day of the trial. Like I said, there's just a lot of inconsistencies with this entire series of events that makes me suspicious. Again, I just don't know the reason why, but something is definitely sus. A man? Yes, Joe Darke. He was a serial killer. Joe Darke was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Darke proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran to this guy in Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Yep. You're catching on quick, Rebel. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were 2 people present during Darke's questioning. Deputy Chief Damus Gant and Prosecutor Leo Marshall. Right, I almost forgot about Gant. Leo Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Darke. When Darke grabbed me, I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but Any tales about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Darke. Just then, the lights went out. The lights? It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on. Lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out? Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't be able to see anything, right? Right, but just then the lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. You see, I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. It's a Bruce Goodman, the victim. So you spoke to Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes. That's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but at the time the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. Right, I think she mentioned that before. Wow, Mr. Knight, have you heard enough? This picture of the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence that was given 2 years ago didn't contain the picture. Witness, would you mind if I add a statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. Right, I think I know what I'm eating. I'm not gonna eat it directly at her face, but in her general direction. Objection. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence? Huh? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold. This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Turn it... Oh. Sis. Yes. What is that? Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew. Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Yeah. These lists, they're different from each other. Nani? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here from where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. Nani? What? Order, order. But, Miss Guy, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor? Are you right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the list was torn in half, then there might be more on the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Eh? Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. Alright. The badger. That's that thing. That thing that was just dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Yeah, the badger. The dancing badger that was in yesterday's trial. Long story short, that's pretty much what it is. Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Huh? Yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seems to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Emma's picture. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Darke was about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Let me take a look at this picture real quick before I end up having to eat out a different direction. Okay. So did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a shock that I couldn't do anything. This thing was in yesterday's trial because it just so happened to be in this security video. See, this thing. This was the important thing that was in yesterday's trial that was suspicious. As to why I got drew that, I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. That's the badger in question. Yeah, it'd be creepy. The music is gonna be stuck in my head for a while. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gann and Lena Sky. 2 or 3 days later, memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? So at the time we didn't even know if Mr. Marshall who had come. He didn't know I cannot word today for the life of me. So at the time we didn't even know if I swear I might want to say there's an if in that question, but there isn't. So at the time he didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue. No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lighting was so bright. I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor? Darke had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. However, I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No. Sorry. The flash of lightning only drove up the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really have to torture this girl any further? Nani? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Anyway, this picture. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talk with the detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulate her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I don't know why Charlie might actually find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Huh? Oh, well... Strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet... there's clearly a contradiction here. Oh. I think I have an idea. Maybe not that. Well, no. I was gonna say maybe no. I don't get the drawing. Well, maybe I can just have a reverse Uno just eat the drawing back at her. No, I cannot I cannot pause it and just turn the evidence around, just eat that. I can't do that. Nope. This mystery will be revealed. What about... No. Something to do with the drawing. No, I really doubt it. The vase is important. The vase is not important for this particular context. That's not related. That's previous day. Objection. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. This picture that the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. I forgot for a second I had the autopsy report. Nani? But I still remember it like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? Take that. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man's holding. If you look closely, You can see its tip is broken. And I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Darke was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. What's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand? Objection. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right, but what does it mean? Tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. Objection. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Objection. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading a thin ice, Wright. Right, all I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Yeah. Order, order, order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor. Please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Darke along with Damon Grant. During his questioning, Joe Darke fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Darke. If I believe that somewhere in this, it is my belief somewhere. Again, I can't word today. It is my belief that somewhere in the story there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. I think I have an idea. And if it is, this is definitely going to be one of those naughty moments. I'm intrigued. What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Darke's? The witness is adamant about the accuracy of what she saw. It can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. Right. The murder weapon was only broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Take that. If anything's broken here, it's you. Yeah. I'm sure this must all be very amusing to you, Mr. Wright. You know, I was thinking I was being clever for once. I'll take down the chain this time because I feel like I know what it is. I feel like I just had the wrong context. Take that. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the award ceremony. This is a picture of the award ceremony. Yeah. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award prosecutor Marshall's holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Darke's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Well, I'm glad I was right, just the wrong context of what it was after the murder. Order. Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Darke, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. I'm sure it's gonna come into play soon, but we need to prove what the weapon was in the first place. But that can't be. No, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors award knife was the actual murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean... copper, but... yeah, more or less. This man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Nani? But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. It's true. Why not here? It seems Sister Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Eh? Hold it. Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. Witness? Mr. Edgeworth? What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? His list? The one with that picture scribble on the back? I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. Nani? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me. Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you recall, Miss Guy? Yes, Your Honor. First a knife mix-up, and now the blue badger. This should be interesting. Emma's recollection. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning. That's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. It's certainly most unusual.
Objection!
try impossible. The chief of detective hadn't even designed him until this year. That means he didn't exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may not begin its cross-examination. Hold it. Stop, please. Don't pursue this any further. Lena? What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair. You can't do this. You already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? You prosecutor Sky. Eh? We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. Seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. When you say that man, I assume you're referring to Joe Darke? Yes. At least, I think it was him. Do you think? All I could really see were shadows. Now the power outage that immediately preceded the incident. It's also documented in the prosecutor office reports. So then you... Yep. Why would you do something so dangerous? What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall. He seems convinced that Darke was the one holding a knife. But as we just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife. Well, I didn't know at the time. When that dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was I gotta help the other person. What do you mean you think? It all happened so fast. I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur. This guy was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, little disorientation is only natural. I saw the man about to stab the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with a knife. What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next? Are you sure about this? Of course. See? I even drew a picture of him there. But... it was the chief of detectives who thought of this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The Blue Badger didn't exist years ago. This is all quite verifiable. I know it sounds strange, but I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him somewhere before. Now I finally remember. Brother, just when you thought that thing has caused enough commotion, tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing? Okay, now I'm just confused. Can I look at the vase again? Right? Wait, I didn't really... I want to take a look real quick. Darker stains must be from blood traces from the incident 2 years ago. Only the fragment found Chief Gant's office still has some lights remaining on it. I have an idea. Oh no, never mind. I have an idea and I think it's this. Objection. The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? I believe it's some kind of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look like anything like the blue badger. I have an idea why it fits. I feel like I jumped the gun. But I think I have an idea. Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? Right, I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Okay, this is weird. Should I let it rotate? Oh, there's... Never mind. I was like, how am I going to... Okay. I can sort of see a way, but not really. Damn. Right. It would help if there wasn't that creepy music. What about... other way around, I think. Yep. Like, I know what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to figure out how exactly. Because I would think that... Excuse my mouse. I would think that this is like the broken part of the... of this. We're trying to show a visual illusion of how this vase somehow looks like the badger that's above the base. Question is, I am bloody lost. I feel like because I jumped the gun, I'm sort of screwed. Yeah, the right angle. It would help if the creepy music that goes along with the weasel wasn't playing. I think I got it. No. If I try to load back, I'm gonna lose a lot more progress, and I am trying to figure this out from... my mind would think that this is correct because these little end bits remind me of like little like parts of his weird crown. Sideways. Like, I know what I'm trying to figure out, I'm just trying to... I just feel like because I jumped the gun, I can't exactly look back at this again. Well, I'm pretty sure future me's gonna wonder, like, what the heck? How the heck did it take me this long to think of it? Think about how the gesture is moving. I will say, if I get stuck for too long, then I probably will look up the answer myself to try to figure out. But I know what I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just thinking abstractly is definitely not. It's definitely not my forte today. I just wish it didn't suddenly just stop like that. Like, I had the same thing happen when I was doing a video, pointing out the inconsistency in a video yesterday. If I don't push A when the entire thing goes, I can actually see what the badger is doing. No. Yeah, I will say I'll concede and actually just look it up. I love extraction. I'm assuming if I go by general context, I'll probably end up finding it. Now, Phoenix Wright, Blue Badger base. I can see this is a thing that has been asked a couple times. Oh, you've gotta be kidding me. I found the hoodie. And it is something I would never have figured out. I will admit, that's the dumbest angle I could possibly think of, and that's somehow the answer. All I can say is Emma, please. Like, really? Because the main thing that throws me off is this. And me thinking that it was like this broken part, but no. That is the dumbest thing ever. And I'm glad I'm not so I'm glad I'm not forcing you guys to listen to the song any further. Take that. Oh. I was slightly off. Oh. Let's try it again. Am I not? Yeah, I'm off a little bit, but you can see what we can see what the angle is. Is it not like I'm looking at the picture, I'm looking at it perfectly the way it's supposed to. Okay, let me try some better picture. That's the same picture. That might be this. Yeah, that's the exact same picture I pulled up. They just did a very awkward job pointing it out, but that's the picture. Okay, this is gonna be aggravating. Maybe that's when he zoomed in like that. Zoomed in and like that. But that's the that's like the right angle it's supposed to be. Nope, that isn't it. I could say it's Nani. What else does it just forums say about this one? Oh my, I gotta look at the video version just to point out that one part of it. Oh, here's a picture. Yeah, the game is being real finicky. I know, I know. There we go. Jeez. Most finicky take that I've ever had to do. Take that. Not even a raised finger now, just like a eh. Well, is this a miracle or what? I would enjoy this relief, pretty much. No one could possibly deny his jar resemblance to the blue badger. I would say just super finicky, super picky on pointing out that it's the badger when, yeah, no more words about that. No, can't be. Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoy Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, the question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. Objection. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Ashworth. You see, this changes everything. Indeed? Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? Location? Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in the picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant. But the body was found lying near Lena Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Objection. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Darke and Marshall did not take place in Lena Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body? From Damon Gant's office to Lena Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. Eh? If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone to the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? Finally figured it out. So this is why Lena tried to stop the trial. She'd like to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall? Ladies and gentlemen, if I draw your attention to this picture once more, if the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he wouldn't have had to been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No. Mr. Wright can't be thinking. Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? Of course the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nonetheless. I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Knight, what's the matter? If events took place at the event Sarah rises, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man in the sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall, yep. You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No. And she's unconscious, probably. I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So, it was a witness who took the victim's life? And then proved so with her own testimony? This is unprecedented. Yeah, medic. He's fine. He just went into momentary stun. Objection! But what are you saying? Sorry, Miss Guy, but given the circumstances, Jill Darke murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
No! What's happening? No! This isn't right! This isn't right!
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're gonna have some proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't. Yes. Certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If you don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. Certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a well-goose chase from the beginning. Touche, Miss Guy. Of course, they only use us with one possibility. Eh? You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean, the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one matter or another. It's impossible. Well, Mr. Knight, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I gotta think back to the court record. Now, I was thinking not or something else now. Not sure what I'm trying to pull, but I think I'm grasping, honestly. This message was to cease. It's already in our possession. Mr. Wright, please stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer. Do not be mistaken, Miss Guy. Eh? Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. Take that. This is the message from the deceased. Right. No. Fine, I'll take out a chin. No. If a dead person left behind a message, it would have to be in written form. It's the only logical conclusion. I'm gonna save here because I feel like I know, but I don't know. I did. It's been saved. Now, I have an idea. That wasn't it, was it? No. The problem is that fingerprint was from yesterday's trial. It's not relevant to the case. Because that was Marshall's fingerprint. Not the Marshall that was deceased. Okay, that was it this time. I was thinking it is badger shaped. It has something written on it. The thing that was written on it was against safe. Ergo, what's that? This is that blue badger from before, right? He's just gonna speak the killer's name. If that thing could, sure it would. Okay, I almost forgot this is just a jar. A message was left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. Looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there's a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines? Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used a few precious moments left to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. And the victim's message would become apparent. Oh. Mr. Wright. What kind of message do you think did the victim leave for us? Your Honor. I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. Alright, I need to make letters from these dots. There's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Oh, come on. I just pushed a button. My gods. Oh. I forgot to save before that point. One sec. This is not my day today. Alright, save the game there. Let's try this again. Alright, I'm forming a name. I think I have an idea whose name it is. Also, hydrate. I can definitely do that. Take that. It's an offense to attorney's duty to prove a client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lena. After all my efforts, we're thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So, this is a file and message Prosecutor Marshall left behind? Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. See, Rarity? Can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gantz. Do you understand the implications of what you've done? And Nani? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Darke was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you're the one prosecuting the case, were you not? Yes, Wordy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but he used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. Objection. Joe Darke really was a serial murder. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice. Nani? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing the man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up for evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? Did man send an innocent man to his death? How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order, 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 order. Gabby's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is heading, no one knows. To be continued in a few seconds. I'm still annoyed at the whole vase puzzle, but we're getting somewhere at least. Still think it's a wonky puzzle, but it works, I guess. February 25th, 1208, 1206, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. No, hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe. What is it? Got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run all around while on duty. Top it up, you call me here. Seen happier people at funerals. I take it Lena's having me run errands today. Run errands again. Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here. He asked me to give to see you if there was a break in today's trial. Evidence law? Andrew was talking about this just the other day. You must know the two rules of evidence law. Rule 1. The evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. You could at least study some evidence law, really. Chief Prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message. A message? She said, you're planning to take him on. You're gonna need this book. Him. I guess I need to give this book a thorough read. The evidence law book from Miss Sky explains the 2 rules of evidence law. Might as well just read it now before I forget about it. Rules for submitting evidence. Rule 1. The evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Okay, duly noted. All that's left now is the Chief Prosecutor's sentence. That's where you're wrong, Detective. Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me? Mr. Edgeworth, the real trial today hasn't begun yet. Nani? What else is there left to do? Your credibility has been all but ruined by this forged evidence you were unaware of. When I feel like I threw an ooh on there unintentionally. You were unaware of. Emma Sky found out she's unwittingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal. You're missing the point, Detective. Lena didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there. Nani? And we're gonna expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. February 25th, 1252, District Court, Order Number 9. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lena Sky. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The Inquiry Committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well... Normally this is where the prosecution calls for a witness. But, isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. Yeah. I think I may have manipulated the witnesses. I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking, and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing. And undeniably, this isn't a usual great arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Wow, Mr. Wright, what do you say? Unbelievable. Edgar has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The defense may not call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. Yeah, hold it. I'm definitely gonna save for this. I have an idea of who I want to call down. The time's finally come to bring up the real murderer. It's obviously Meekins now. Take that. Damon Gantz. The defense calls Damon Gantz to the stand. Damon Gantz? What does he have to do with anything? As a defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to be manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. Alright, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gantz to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation. What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch. Your name and occupation, sir. Wordy. Are you sure you want to do this? Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gantz. Fine. My name is Damon Gant, and I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Chief Gant. The court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time when Lena's sister murdered a prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh? Like what? Like the role you played in all this. Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that the police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. Nani? That true? I'm afraid so. The chief of police has a right to refuse to testify. Because of course he does. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks. Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, say I didn't warn you. Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony. SL9 incident. As I recall, Theo and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we stepped up. Power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lena there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Darke was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Darke had bumped his head. Hey, everything seems pretty clear-cut. The police has the right to refuse to testify. And I'd better hit him hard and fast. As I recall, ceremony was held at the police department that day. Yeah, is that right? That's right. I guess you could say I'm a workaholic. After winning his award, Neil was all fired up too. It's probably what spooked Darke and made him run away like that. Was the defendant Lena Sky also present in the room? I don't quite remember. But at least she wasn't there when Darke ran for it. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right? And that's right, but Darke made it to the elevator first. So Leo and I split up. He went upstairs and I went downstairs. Guess you can say you got lucky. Was this about a power outage? Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden and I got the shock of my life. Well... Probably not as shocked as Neil when that knife went to his heart though. It's not funny. Could you tell us what you saw? It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were just lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together. Darke was also lying collapsed on the floor. Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked down. Next to them were those two poor girls, Lena and Emma. Lena was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done. I know, the Sky Sisters. Emma, the younger sister, contacted us. Lena, the one that's being accused of murder. How could he know that? Because of the victim's body. It had already been moved. So that means... he found the body near Lena's desk? That's right. I think you said earlier, it was my suit of armor that really stabbed the prosecutor? Yes. Anyway. So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office? Exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lena must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances. Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. Yeah, definitely going to. If you're gonna stare at anything, you better be out staring at the court record. Wordy. Always a smooth talker. What piece of evidence ties Gantz to the forgery? Lena did admit to forging evidence. But that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I got to link Gantz to this incident. Alright, I think I have an idea. Also, yeah, I'm saving it first. Objection. Finally that handprint actually comes into play. One thing has been bothering me. If he really had anything to do with the forgery, then how do you explain this? What's that? What's that on it? Handprint? Chief Gant, your explanation, please. No, I don't know. You tell me, son. Huh? My dear Righto, don't you know? Second rule of evidence law. Crap, not this again. Evidence law. Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Tell me, how was that reg relevant to this trial? It appears the defense was not prepared. Guess it's too early to use this piece of evidence. Please accept my profile apologies, Chief. But you might give me the defense another chance. Well, okay. I'll do it just as once, but only because you asked, Uchi. Yeah, sorry I didn't nail you. Well, I'm glad I wasn't penalized for that. Okay, the other evidence then. Objection. Again. Claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that's a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar for example. That's the blue battery you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. Not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant? These articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that he also played a part in, in the illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this? Oh. There's a defense attorney who may have been rival-worthy. So you admit to it then? That you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you're the one who stuck into my office when he found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do it too. Can do so too. It's not right, righto. However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Wordy, my boy. Oh, so not Rebel. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. What? Nani? Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying the work. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Evidence in forgery. Let's see, what was it now? A jar fragment and a list? Alright, now you could have just planted in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Darke was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason for participating in the forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You understand I am the Chief of Police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed. I believe I'll press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. Alright, Uchi. Your return now. I know. That place, right? This guy's telepathic. Evidence of forgery. Again. I'd appreciate it if you stopped making these ridiculous allegations. Yes, you do have a point. You wouldn't have the guts to do something like that. Nani? I don't know if you know, back in the day I once broke into a cattle ranch and tipped. Is it right? What are you saying? Anyway, you can't prove you didn't carry any evidence, did you? You have proof to the contrary you're gonna need later. Later? What are you talking about? What else? I'm talking about when Wright's prints are found. And if they're found inside my safe, the proof his investigation was legal. I never faced anything. I never faced anyone as slimy as this guy. What do you mean by that? This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery. Objection. If concealing evidence found at the crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, Righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered at the initial investigation? It would appear not. After all, it was listed in the evidence list. I already know it could have necessarily materialized the day after Darke was sentenced. Objection. Oh, and wouldn't that be convenient? Right. The chief is talking about a possibility, so long as he can't rule it out. Your remarks, however clever as they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. There's something I don't know. Come now, Righto. Think about it. How can you look me in the eye and say that? Because I'm innocent. Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil? Not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Skye. Well, now do you see? Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there's just one very large benefit reaped from all this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is his benefit? That would of course be the position you have, Chief of Police. Yeah? The resolution of the SL9 incident secured a promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Ho ho ho. Merry Christmas. I mean, oh. That's a good one. Huh? Do you really think I'm that incompetent? What do you mean? You know what, that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution in SL9 barely spent the inevitable little. Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway. Nani? Careful pointing that finger, or you might wind up being the one pointed at. So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else. Don't be silly, Wordy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There. It's out in the open now. Angie, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do. I smell a contradiction, possibly. No, it wasn't that. I was thinking maybe? No. Of course not. Me, myself, and I shows picture of other people. No, it is not the book. It is not evidence, though. No. There's something that's contradictory, and I'm having a hard time thinking of what it is. Right, so what am I thinking? Well, I should probably press first. But I can actually try to think of the context. Nothing in it for you. Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lena's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, better think again. You're right. Don't feel sorry for anyone. Tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised. You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though. It's a good one, Reddy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? True. You might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. Not what I mean. Very well then. Who is this person you believe Chief God may have helped forge evidence? Take that. Chief Prosecutor Elena Sky, the defendant? I believe it's quite obvious in light of these circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than our own sister, Lena? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lena if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lena Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all this? He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations. Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Judge, please. Let it be said I'm mentally just shaking my head at this thought. Oh wait, you must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding? Never mind. Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lena Sky in forging evidence. Your motive, to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you can control her. Right, so my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I control Lena? For example, if Lena's testifying I've done such a thing? Lena. Keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this almost nothing more than mere conjecture. Unless that is also what happened in this incident. This incident? Which one would this be? Of course I'm talking about the murder detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. Wordy. Better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What it means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lena take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? Order, order, order. Said order. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. Huh? This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? Yeah, it's impossible. Your Honor, I was very reiterating what Mr. Edwards said in easy to understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Looks like he's the one who decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder? Sure. I mean, good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell. I see. Alright then. Let's see what Mr. Wright's got. This better be good. Show us evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. I wish I could just pause it. Oh, I know. I think I know. Take that. This is ID card list. Yes, the one who shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There is one ID in the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 777-7777. I mean, strike one of those 7's out, but that's pretty much it. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that that's my card number. It's your card number. It's your number. Eh? Nani? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code. 7 digits? Don't mean. Afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 777-7777. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. Order, order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations. And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card. Chief Gant, so you admit it? You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? The chief of police, whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want. Tell me. When you entered the room, were you alone? I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room. If the Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with him that day, would he? Of course not. Why would it be? I hadn't seen him in days. Objection. You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gant. I'm afraid you just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lena Sky's guilt. No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting? In that case, Sister Knights, we're gonna have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on that day of the crime. Take that. Detective Goodman had to go see Chief Gant. Of course. I'll take that, Jen. Regardless, he did see Detective Goodman that day. Proof. Alright, done. Take that. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you're in possession of this report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes. To transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're gonna say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait. The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. You could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found in his body. Chief Gant, he didn't. The murder is most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After their murder, you contacted Lena at the prosecutor's office. Why? Dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright. That the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? I was in the police department the entire day, you know. Anyone's aware that Lena stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey you, they just hear dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you have all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. Last time I thought it was just a useless clue just taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. Take that. Well, I see. Maybe I'll use this later to move your dead body, Mr. Wright. Huh? That wasn't it. I was thinking maybe use those gloves. No. I'll also eat that point lost in the chin. Chief can't say it to the police department and later stay at the prosecutor's office. It's only one possible way you could remove the body. The only problem is how do you get him to do it? Oh, I think I know. Take that. Well. That wasn't it, was it? No. Fine. This is how he moved Ted Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? But what does this have to do with the case? With this case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is the screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go. By Chief Gat, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean the body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car? Yes. Unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. Transfer the body to your accomplice, this latest guy. As I remember, the lock was broken. Order. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations? The back to the photograph is Star took to the prosecutor's office. There was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It's a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gantz, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Rhino. I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're gonna make it in time for the early bird special. Objection. The cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? The police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. Nani? This is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks of being considered. So you're just gonna run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Wordy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, I think I had Lena dispose of the body. Sell it and show your proof and get it over with. Say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gann is the current chief of police. This court will now tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright. Your Honor. Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gann murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Guy dispose of his body? I'm gonna save just in case. It seems like a you do but you don't situation. I'll just grab his way out of this. Gotta keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor. I do have such evidence. And please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Gann murdered Detective Goodman beyond the shadow of a doubt. So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof as to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the chief's guilt. I'll let you be the judge. But I am the judge. Oh, right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor? Fine. I was thinking I'd be clever. I think. No, that's not it. There's definitely proof. I'm just trying to think what it is. I was thinking the video, but no. Trying to think. Now look like this play. No, that's not the evidence that's needed. I will eventually figure this out. that is not the answer. The answer will be found at some point. I ended up guessing blindly, but I know I'll figure it out. No, that's not the answer. Maybe now the knight comes into play? No. Or maybe this is just a time where there's no proof is the answer. I'm just learning for no good reason. Nope. Concrete proof that he was there. No, that's not it. Wait, is it? No. There's an answer somewhere in this. No. Eventually, or in Jason's, or in other words, 3 days later. No, it's not that. I think I checked that before. It's some sort of evidence being involved for this. I would assume... I forgot if I checked if it was the badger, if I use a badger as evidence. Nope, I already checked that. I feel like it's something obvious. What about the fingerprint? No. Alright, maybe I am wrong. Maybe I don't have the evidence. So you showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Yuji? In that case, this course for us penalizes you for your allegations against the chief. Nani? Here's a chief. Never gamble we can't afford to lose, Righto. Seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Yuji. I'll leave the rest to you. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. Lady Duck, maybe we should have a word with her. For a second I was about to reload it thinking that was the wrong answer, but no. There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't had the honor of hearing her testimony. The lady who tells the truth? Another witness? In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Ganis invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room. Mr. Edriff? Who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling the witnesses today. I have an idea who you want me to call, I'm just not sure how this will actually work out. You may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. The defendant, Miss Lena Sky? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 on February 21st. I mean 21st. 21. Her task? To dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth. Prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now on Huh? Hold on. Chief Gan, I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lena. He's talking to Lena? I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. Eh? That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. Eh? This isn't good. Of course, he never supports such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet. Gee, totally not suspicious at all. Okay, if there's any other further objections, this court is now in recess. February 25th, 2:04 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Well, looks like you managed to stay in the game. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. And Chief, nothing else, eh, pals? It's a gum show. I'm not a detective anymore. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Don't worry, everybody decided where to work now. It's your office. My office? Sure. I'll take the place of a top-knotted girl you used to work with. What do you mean, Maya? Still, it's like we're out of moves now. He gets done it again. How is he always gets the upper hand? That fairy has a right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said. Right, there's risks to be considered. Risks. What do you mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Yeah, Emma woke up finally. Emma, are you okay? Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma? Sorry for what I said before. No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved. Relieved? Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. You think that all this time, my sister is being blackmailed by that terrible man? And she did it all, just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her, that she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? You followed Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside, to force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to. That must be why she became so cold. It's all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall. Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into the armor. I see. Well, I better get back. It's time for the final act. Emma, why don't you wait? No. I'm going with you. Yeah. I want to be there. When Lena tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. To be continued. We have 45 minutes. We may have to cliffhang, but we're gonna at least commit to this part. If we cliffhang because I am not gonna overstay my usual endpoint. I do know how to rate though if we do have to cliffhang now. Now then. Will the defendant Miss Lena Sky please take the stand? Miss Lena Sky, you're the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But, Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. You survived the court testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. You want to hear the truth. Of course. The truth. Lena, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, Your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. It hinges on your testimony. Your only chance we have to get Gant. Gant's in the fabrication. I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Drake convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lena... This is true. That means Chief Gant has something to do with this. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. This isn't right. You gotta help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. What if she's telling the truth? She's not. I know my old sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. Yeah, I'm trying to start second guessing myself. How many years exactly? Ever since I'm a senior detective. See, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years. The other candidates were legendary partners. I personally saw him testify in numerous cases. He must have been good, considering coming from the same school as Mia. Damon Gant was a respectable detective. That's why. But think about it, Miss Sky. He didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And... did you do so to help your sister? Joe Darke was a serial killer. His sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want the incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lena? So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago? You say you did this all by yourself? Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? Seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body. Of course I was right, but the game said no until now. Nani? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's only a situation he dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change the statement. You mean, Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Drake? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Darke was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. Not how it went down. She's trying to cover her lies with more lies. All just to protect me. So when you found a thing like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. Yes. You planted the tip of Darke's knife into the babe, and then you moved the body? But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had such a good head on your shoulders. My head isn't that bad, but... When you showed up in this crime scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It is where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple. To have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Guy moved the body. I'm assuming now I actually just eat the base we just put together, right? Pieces of the jar? You mean... Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Drake committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So... When you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you look at the crime scene, it will be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead, and Drake was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during the struggle. I see. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. So you rearranged the crime scene? Are you sure you didn't do it to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. So desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence? She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, as the prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up my actions. To write my sister's lying. Right, she says without evidence by herself. Right, there's a contradiction that what she said, what she added. I think I have an idea what it is. Question is, now do I get to eat this? No. Yeah. I will eventually figure it out. Eventually. Stop taking the last three because that's the ones that get amended. Did I mean to push that? Maybe somewhere along the lines I eat the base? Question mark? There we go. Objection. Miss Guy, I understand how you feel. If you committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister, you mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. Contradiction in my testimony? You testify, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events dreaded my plan." That's right. You have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on a jar with the victim's blood. Yes, the prosecutor must have read it in his final moments. Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. Ah. He couldn't have written Emma's name on the shattered jar. Order. Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regards to this jar and its bloody message. You may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth toward which we're headed. Nani? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. Jar and message in blood. I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments are large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. You didn't think Darke was a real murderer? That's why she tried to erase the real evidence? Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. So the jar was already broken? It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. To me it looks as feeble as the defense's case. Not as feeble as the judge's judgment. You're an ace attorney who never missed a detail. You really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces? Normally I would have. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on a jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust. Well, that was my case. Lena, you'd do that for me? It seems you two might make up yet. Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If something happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. It's rather shocking. I'm afraid it's actually your reveals of what had happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Darke killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. What else could I have done in this situation? Lena, I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. But how can you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office. The detective is always superior, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. When I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene? Yes. I don't have any excuses for my actions. So sorry, Lena. Didn't know. I treated you so badly all this time. Not too late. There's still plenty. Oh, saving again. After we get to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. This is really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. If I figure out the contradictions in her testimony. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. I think. Try to think. No, I was thinking maybe she used a cloth now. Alright, maybe it's more simple than I think it is. It was. Objection. This guy, I believe this jar conceals the truth even you were aware of. And Nani? We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe. In the Chief's safe? But how? Anyway, she really didn't know. There's nothing even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night the prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? Objection. I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for dentures. Here are my teeth all along. You believe that? Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. Oh, that. There's no way a name could have been written on the shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying that person was Chief Gant. At the time he was looking for Darke downstairs. Besides, even if it was there first, what could have... Objection. The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? Yeah. No. Wait, I'm not the one in trial here. Damon Gann arrived at the scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question. What is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. Why would Chief Gann do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? What happened afterwards? Discovering the scene, Lena Sky believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Grant's aid. Lending her his aid, Grant helped her create evidence that incriminated Darke, sparing Emma, and therein lies the reason. The reason Miss Sky became the chief's puppet. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I don't want you to suffer anymore for my sake. No, he didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. He didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients. Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client. I guess you do seem like the type who likes to twist the truth. Eh? Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lena, maybe you're right after all. What do you mean, Wright? So you do tell foul lies to Mr. Wright? Miss Sky, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But do you remember knocking over Mr. Marshall? Miss Sky, if you will. I can't. Start to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if we tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw. Alright, Miss, we testify once more for the final time. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled in a suit of armor's sword. Emma and Darke were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's how I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Believable. Body was impaled on the armor's sword? You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. Yeah? I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. What? To me? It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Lena must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you. Do you remember receiving any pictures from Lena? Lena said she gave it to you this morning, right? Oh, okay. Oh. Hey, there's a picture here. Oh. Why? This is the actual crime scene? The other detectives saw the crime scene like this. I already see something suspicious. And I'm not gonna point it out. Because I like being cheeky like that. Because I contacted criminal affairs only after we arranged everything. Crime scene photo taken from the case 2 years ago. Crime scene photo from the case 2 years ago taken. Mr. Wright. That piece cut off from his vest. Could that be? Cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. Well, the game spoiled it for me, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. Whoever's fingerprints those are must be the real murderer. What? But those fingerprints? They're yours, Emma. Are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with this cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, you'll be able to flush out the real murderer. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Of course you decided to come back. Come now, Uji. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. Chief Gant. What, now you want to make me out as a bad guy too? So I would like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that. Nani? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. But wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't. But someone does. Someone? So, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? Do you have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death? Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt? Is that true, Mr. Wright? If I show a piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. If you have any more evidence present now, unless we try to conceal anything, we'll be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. Yeah, that sounds like a save first situation. Yeah, bloody hell. Your Honor, I don't have evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie. Chief Gant, you opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together. Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gant? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence? This is gonna be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think he had the gall, Righto. Well, I just let you pin me up as a murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. I really want to cliffhang here, but I think we might be able to squeeze this in, possibly in 15 minutes or less. Maybe? Nani? You mean you admit to it? I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lena. So you really were manipulating her? I knew Lena. If I made it look like the blame lay with sister, that's when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid. So you assisted Miss Sky. Told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Darke convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lena arrived at the scene, mind you. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance? I was sure my plan would work. It's always best to be prepared for the worst. I was about to let anyone blame me for a murder that girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police cheap by dumb luck. See this star fragment? I hit the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lena to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message in this jar too? Oh ho ho. Merry Christmas. I mean, some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come on, Righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut out the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I don't want to have to do that, being chief and all, but it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Wow, Mr. Knight, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto. You should have sealed it in before it was too late. It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh yes. As he finally brought it out to the open. There's a hamper on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecutor requested that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the letter must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly. You mean It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Oh ho ho. You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Wordy. Nani? Think about it. Rido had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that? Mr. Wright, do you really know? Very well, I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. Emma? Emma Sky? What? They're mine? Sorry, Emma. Why? Why didn't you tell me? Oh, ho, ho, ho. You're really something, Rido. You knew this girl did it all along. You still try to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death? Hold it. How could you? You monster. Sky? You knew whose fingerprints were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Sky, it's not over yet. Nani? I said this trial isn't over yet. I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. Purposely concealed as conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defense is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you gonna tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? What's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? Nani? Chief Gant, you're absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Is it right? This piece of cloth could possibly contradict. Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Oh ho ho ho. It's fun watching you squirm, Rido. Ow. Of course. What am I doing? Question is, what am I doing? This cloth was cut from Chief Prosecutor's vest after he died. Something's definitely not right about it. No, that is not it. It's like I got it, no, I don't got it. I'm just being a fool. No, that was not it. I would like to figure it out. No, that's not it. I will eventually figure it out. No. This cloth was cut from Chief Prosecutor Marshall's vest after he died. Is it the... It's gonna be a naughty moment, isn't it? No. What am I missing that's important? And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Ms. Leonard took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes. His shirt is torn underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood in his vest now. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. It's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood was pouring out of his mouth. Oh, but a piece of cloth. Wait. There's no blood on it. This Emma's guy's fingerprints are on this cloth. There's no doubt that she would have shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at the time. It's nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. Most likely hit his head on the ground, was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Lena Sky, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armored sword? Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, that person proceeded to write Emma to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. and make Lena believe her sister did it. Remember what she admitted only moments ago? That she personally cut out of this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you prove that you're the actual murderer. Finally all over. It was close, Retta. You almost had me. Yeah, unfortunately now I'm at the end here. We may be reaching our breakthrough, but either way, I am way tapped for time, so we're gonna have to resume this tomorrow. This may be the final turnabout before we reach the end. It feels like it. But I'm about to call it here. I just can't finish this game off today, so apologies to anyone that wanted to see the end of this game, which probably I said. Willing's a bit on it. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here for today. I'm gonna send you guys over to Glaive Silver. They are currently playing some Exxon files, which we've been playing for a while. He's a very cool dude. He's playing, like I say, he's playing Exxon files. We're gonna go raid him. I will see you guys tomorrow night. We'll hopefully finish this off. And then we will do something else, I'm sure. But until then, I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.